Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me here again, Moritz from MV Rugby, and thank you very much for joining me. So yeah, I tried to release a video last week, and unfortunately, as I'm busy doing the editing and everything, I suddenly discovered that the video file went corrupt. No time to reshoot, so I'm gonna try my level best to kind of do a recap of all the pertinent talking points that I wanted to go sort of cover. Yeah, first up was the Barbarians tour to South Africa, honoring us with their presence on South African soil for the first time ever, since the Barbarians was created in 1890, so more than 100 years ago. And it was created as a kind of celebration of rugby and the brotherhood and camaraderie among rugby players, which I think is a great idea. Fantastic, and became more or less kind of rugby culture, very much sort of cemented in there. And it's they've been touring all over the world. The world's been playing them and everything. And it's actually quite a great honor to receive your invitation to join the Barbarians on tour, which is why I would love to extend huge congratulations to Ruben van Heerden, receiving his invitational to the Barbarian team. He, of course, facing a lot of his old teammates here on the DHL Stadium grounds. And yeah. Opening ceremony, fantastic. A lot of emotions going around. Great sort of tribute to Cornell Hendricks as well, who played against the Barbarians, I think about 9 years ago, in the time when we had a 31-all draw against the Barbarians. Cornell Hendricks still making a fantastic line break, ending in a try for him, still sporting the dreadlocks and beard. But yeah, a fantastic game that was, and a fantastic game about 2 weekends ago against the Barbarians. And yeah, Sasha Fambakumuzulu really also cementing his name in the history books of rugby. I think that's from now on I'm going to be calling that the Sasha maneuver. You know, the slight dummy to the left and then sort of spin to the right and trying to get into the line break. Would have worked if the Barbarian didn't latch onto the back of his shirt and kind of held on for dear life, causing him to lose the ball for written contact. Fantastic maneuver, and I think we're probably going to see that a lot more often. I think that would probably be an ingenious way of making a line break, really. Forcing a line break, almost. But yeah, 52-7. Jaminier basically scoring the only try for the Barbarians in the second half, and then converting his own try. Really well done by him, and fantastically well done by the Barbarians. They didn't really allow the Springboks to maintain constant pressure on them. So yeah, it was very much a kind of tight match, although, you know, and just from sheer badgering the defensive lines of the Barbarians, they did manage to get through quite a few times, making a few line breaks as well, get a couple of tries in, and it was just an all-round good game. I can't really imagine that the Barbarians would have performed any better. They only had about a week, get together, try and make a cohesive team effort of scoring tries or in making some strategic gameplay, and then of course they spend most of that week together kind of touring in the winelands, the Stellenbosch wine route, wine tastings, cheese and wine kind of events, and yeah, so it was an all-round, as a friendly, very kind of it was a good game, and we quite honored for them to be here. Like I said, the tribute paid to Cornel Hendricks as well was fantastic. All round kind of emotion. The family walking out, being the flag bearers for the Springboks in South Africa, and the opening ceremony, and then also O'Mahony basically coming forward, presenting the family of Cornel Hendricks with the number 14 jersey of the Barbarians, the name Cornel Hendricks printed on it. His mother, his wife, and children basically on the field at that time. It was just, all round tasteful and lovely kind of event. And thank you very much. Really honored to have you guys here, the Barbarians, on our home turf. Moving on now to the South African opening match to their incoming series against Italy this last weekend. It was a tight game. The Italians were like little, chihuahuas, kind of yapping at the heels of the Springboks, not really also allowing them to kind of mount any kind of sustainable pressure on the Italians. Although a lot of line breaks happening, pick and drives that badgered their defensive lines, which held very, strong and long kind of attack movement, which is, kind of well done to them, Italians really doing well there, forging their defensive lines and then try and keep the waves back. Unfortunately, they just keep, through relentless battering, they, eventually allowed them through. A fantastic line break as well by Curtly Orense. And then we had the little opening try by Jesse Kriel, by forward kick by Damien Allende. Mad dash by both Jesse and Cheslin Colby to try and make the beat the ball into the try scoring box, and then finally Jesse just sort of falling onto the ball, getting it down. A lot of attack plays by Italy that didn't quite pan out. Couldn't convert it into any kind of points. They did have a successful penalty goal in the first half, but the Springboks just basically went to town on the Italians, scoring try after try within the first half, getting it down. Cheslin Colby then basically kicking it out, as just after the halftime buzzer went. Coming back, South Africa kind of visibly didn't do too well in the second half. It's the kind of, I don't know whether it was the effort that just went down, and like they think, okay, well, just so far ahead, we don't really need to, exert ourselves any more than we need to, which was a pity, because I think they could have done a lot more in that situation. The Springboks had a really strong attacking moves and everything, but I also think a lot of the pep talk happening within the Italian cloakroom had a lot to do with it, because they came back quite strong, scoring 3 tries within the second half. And then congratulations to Vincent Koch, 62 caps for the Springboks, and he scores his first try. Fantastic game, absolutely, for him. It had to happen at some point, I think. But real congratulations to him. Curtly Orense performed absolutely brilliantly. Morne van den Berg as well. That little kind of trip of his, trying to avoid hitting the referee Harley Davidson in the clearance kick, then completely missing the ball entirely, then falling sitting a bit in his backside. Bit of kind of entertainment there, but Holly did own up to it and says like, my fault guys, sorry, scrum here, Springbok ball. And then obviously also the Andrew Jackson that called out the the obstruction by Oxenchair, not really, on purpose or anything. I mean, Ox didn't realize, the Italian player behind him. Just basically keeping an eye on Damien Willems as he tried to duck in between him and the opposing Italian player. And then, it's kind of on the wrong place at the wrong time, which disallowed the try for Vincent Ichuka, unfortunately. It's just one of those things that happen. Not intentional play. It just basically, unfortunately happened. And I think we just have to live with it. Nothing that could have been done there. Italy, unfortunately, suffering 2 yellow cards within the game. First was Lorenzo Canone having a head contact in the tackle that sent him off, basically. And then Ezeko going off in the last 10 minutes of the second half also didn't help. Springboks very quickly to capitalize on that, getting a few tries in there. Unfortunately, not the game that the Italians wanted, and especially Nicolo Canone being very concerned for his brother as he went off within the second half. Back injury, I think, in the hip area. Mortem van den Berg came sort of sliding in, trying to make it to the ball before Lorenzo, as Lorenzo kind of tried to or attempt to just fall on the ball, isolating it from the rest of the players. And he took a knee from Monet in the back. He was taken off by Stretch, and I really hope that he gets well soon, that it's not too serious, and then we'll see him back on the field pretty soon again. I don't know if he's going to make it for the next week, next week's test against Springboks in Gqeberha, but we'll have to see. Really, we're hoping all the best for him, that he makes a quick recovery. All round, Mortem van den Berg really deserving, I think, the man of the match. But I also do think Kurtley Arnser did really well, and would have loved to have seen him, taking the man of the match. But unfortunately, they can only be one. And Mortem van den Berg scoring 2 tries did kind of trump that. But he also played a hell of a game. Fantastic play by the debut Springbok. All round really good game. As soon as I don't think the bomb squad really had such an impact on the game as before. Otherwise, just the kind of psychological warfare as they kind of run onto the field. These 5 huge guys coming on. It's just sort of middle of the second half. But I think it was about a 47th minute. These guys, these huge, and then just shortly after that, in the 54th minute, Faf de Klerk basically coming on, taking over from Mortem van den Berg. And just all round really good game. And I think this kind of cements just the idea that Rassie really has chosen a fantastic team for the Springboks, for this incoming series. And I hope he really kind of carries it on, because we'd like to keep on to that number 1 spot, to get, like I said previously, that we need to try and hold on to get a more favorable position within the pool games in the 2027 World Cup. That will just be absolutely fantastic for us. So if we can maintain that, that'll be great. And also shout out to the Junior Box. Fantastic game last Friday against England. Did kind of have a bit of a shaky start in the first half, but really came back strong in the second half, and then dominating all in all, from whistle blown to whistle blown from the 40th to the 80th minute. Really strong play, strong strategic attacks, fantastic line breaks happening there. So these guys really ready to follow in the footsteps of some of the great players that made it from the junior Springboks, now currently playing for the number 1 national team in South Africa. Malcolm Marx, Andre Pollard, Billy Leroux obviously being among them. And then, yeah, again, really good to see the return of some of the old Springbok injuries coming back. Louis de Jager, Marco van Staden, and then Franco Mostert as well coming back. Jasper Vista, really happy to see him back in the number 8 jersey. Him, of course, that went off with a neck injury. I had some surgery there as well, but it looks like he made a full recovery and is back in, kind of ignoring any kind of safety precautions to his own body. As we know that, this kid really does. So fantastic. Come back for these lads, really, and they, really did us proud this weekend, hoping to carry it over into Kleberga next weekend, which will bring us basically to the end of this video. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, but also, just give me your opinions and your thoughts in the comments field below. Hit a like and subscribe as well, because it really helps out the channel. And from a very cold Cape Town, I bid you all farewell. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll see you next week when I obviously cover the second test against Italy, and then moving forward from there in the incoming series. Have a good evening, guys. Peace out.